ANCHR, right, we hope that everyone also look at it from the point of view of exploration. So let's get started. Okay, so basically, what if one day could change how you work forever? What we mean by this, right, is that most people, as of today, we are still using AI like a search engine. Basically, it is like, imagine you go to this country, Italy, for like summer vacations, which a lot of us are doing summer vacations now. So you go to this tourism board, then you ask the tourism board person, oh, which places should I visit near this area? Or you ask the tourism board person, yes, did someone speak? Okay, so anyways, sorry, I got distracted. So basically, then you can ask the person, when is the most famous tiramisu? And then the person at the tourism board will get back the reception, right? So it's the same thing. Most people are still using your ChatGPT, your Gemini, your Claude, like a search engine. Like you ask one question, then they reply one question. You ask another question, they reply you with a list of information. And what do you do with this list of information? Do they get the tiramisu for you? They do not, right? So if we are using AI this way, we will continue to get more and more information, hoard information, and then have some analysis paralysis going on. So the good news is that a smaller group today is learning to build with AI. And on the AI scene, things are also changing. So Cohort as of today is 5 months old. 5 months old, you can't even find a person who can like confidently say that, oh, I have 6 months experience in Claude Cowork, because Claude Cowork 6 months ago was not even invented. That is so crazy, right? Then if you talk about Claude Code, think of it like a more complicated version of Claude Cowork. If you talk about Claude Code is 1 year, 2 months old. So you cannot find a person in the market that says that they have 2 years experience in Claude Code. Just not possible because it's not even invented. So on one hand, you have very curious people, and a lot of people basically replace Google with ChatGPT or Gemini or your Claude. You have another the tech side, which is like so fast moving. You have Cowork now making AI agents so accessible for non-technical people. You have Code also, if you are a little bit more technical and or you are willing to overcome the fear, like all non-technical people have, to go and use Code, right? A lot of things can be done. So the point here is that the people who build AI agents will create more value faster and with less effort. So what do we mean by AI agents here? Is that the AI agent need to proactively do things for you. So instead of you asking a question, they reply with the information. Now the AI agent, you can ask them to buy the tiramisu for you. So they execute on your behalf. And maybe when you go to Italy, you might think that, all I like might be tiramisu, but the AI agent can even tell you that, based on what I know of you inside your context and in our past conversation, maybe you like this particular dessert that only Italians do in, let's say, Firenze, in this particular area. So your AI agent can actually execute things for you and do recommendations for you. And do you need to know coding to do all these? Don't need, because of Claude Cowork. So that's a very good news. So the point is that AI is not coming, it's already here. So the question is no longer should I learn AI or not. The question is, will you stay a user as in a Google search engine user, or will you become a builder? A builder means you start to own your AI agent, not just own your AI agent, but build it. So you build it, you own it. And then after you own it, you can decide what to do with it. There are a lot of parts of the AI agent that can be monetized if you want to. And we will definitely look into it. In fact, some of our AI natives in our past cohort, they are already getting like some very interesting gig consultation offers, which I find quite I'm very amazed also. They're very proud of everyone. Yes. So anyway, people who build AI agents will create more value faster as well. This is because the definition of value has changed ever since the AI can proactively do things for you. And ever since you don't even need to know how to code. to do your AI agent. So here again, right, there are 3 levels of AI, and most people will never move beyond level 1. So level 1 is asking AI questions, using AI to search, summarize, or draft, still doing all the work yourself. Level 2 is we use the AI for tasks. So we prompt it for specific output. It's useful, but you're still the executor. For task means like, let's say you don't want to reply to these very tricky email. You know, some emails make you very scared. I'm not sure if I'm the only one. I don't think I'm the only one. So sometimes, you know, when you receive an email from your boss or from a difficult customer and you don't really want to deal with it, that's one situation. Another of the situation is, for instance, when we write a lot of marketing collaterals, we realize that some people don't really read our material. In spite of us repeating like 10 times already, still don't read. So at that point in time, because I'm in general, I will be thinking, why like that? Because I repeat 10 times already, right? So when I don't want to reply an email, the AI will actually, I outsource it to Claude or Gemini. So before I use the AI agent, right, what I do is I will ask them to reply the email in my tone. And then basically I will keep writing out the same prompt about how I sound like. But with the AI agent, because we have the context, we have their memory, you can literally ask it to just write the whole email for you and then ask it to save in your Gmail as a draft. So in the morning, you just open your Gmail and then you look at the draft and then just send the message, edit and send. So you can get AI to do all the work that you don't really want to do, but the final discretion is still with you. Okay, so the good news is that for our 1-day bootcamp, it is to build AI agents. This one is very important because we want to create systems that work for you automatically. That means your AI agent is personalized to you. We can provide the templates, we can provide the prompts, but the key is how do you make it sound personal that most people still feel you in your AI agent? That's number 1. And number 2 is 2 things that are very, very hard to replace in the age of AI is nuance. Nuance is like, you know, certain quirks that only you have. So nuance is hard to replace. The depth, like how much of a situation is your own perspective, is also very hard to replace. And number 3 is your taste. It is like your unique design. All these, as much as possible, if your prompt personalization is not done well, people will still be able to sense a little bit that, you know, this person is using AI. So what we do here together is that we build systems, and then within the system, we customize and personalize the templates and the prompt so that the AI agents will sound like you as well. Okay, so the problem here we want to talk about also is that a lot of smart professionals are stuck. And it is not because they cannot learn AI, but because the path is not very correct. So, and this is not our fault, you know, it's really not your fault or not my fault. It is just how should I put, like you open these days, I don't even want to open LinkedIn because I know that there's no point reading AI written stuff that are not very authentic in my opinion. So let's go through the list. So the first one is too much hype. It is very hard to know what is real and what is noise. Like and who can blame us or anyone else, because to get on stage to talk about AI stuff, it's not very difficult these days. And a lot of people have opinions. So people will be saying things like, oh, too much AI is not good and blah blah blah. But they never build any AI agent in their whole career and they talk about AI, you know. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. So first we don't really know what is noise and what is real. Second is too much jargon. Things like your API, what is resend, what is Astro, what is the MCP? All these is like jargon. And then it makes people feel like, oh, maybe this space is not for me because I feel very down when I'm in the space, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of jargon still. There are also a lot of tools like your ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and it's very overwhelming. Like every single day, someone will come up with a new function or new feature. So it's also very confusing. There's no clear starting point for your specific work and context as well. And last but not least, you have used AI, but because it is not a system, it's not an agent, the system does not proactively do things for you. So you're still copy and pasting. So that is not very wise as well. So in the bootcamp, we'll actually spend focus one day to do an AI agent for you so that you know the basic skill set, and then you can go home and do more AI agents yourself that's personalized to your context. Okay, so once again, I think the biggest trap is that most people here are consuming, they are not building, and information is not transformation. So we think like, okay, let's work hard to understand what this thing is AI. We work very hard because the media say that, no, it's not the AI that will replace you, it's the person who is beside you who know AI more than you that will replace you, right? So there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety going on. And then one of the way we cope with the anxiety is to hoard information. But information is not transformation. You can continue to hoard information, but you will still not be able to build anything. So the key here is, how do I build something within a focused period of time that immediately after the focus window I can use, and immediately it will improve my life, it will improve my system and the way I do work. I think this is a very high ROI activity. So okay, some of the ways that we hoard information without a goal, right, is we watch YouTube video. YouTube video is also very draining because one YouTube video can be like 1 hour plus. Number two is trying tools without a strategy, without a clear goal, right? Like things like, what is the problem I want to solve? Without this clear goal that, okay, I want to do an AI agent that solve this problem, it is just mindless scrolling, and then maybe even mindless blaming yourself for not being good enough. But the thing is that information overwhelm is very real. The third thing is collecting prompts. So if you don't have a clear problem you want to solve, then you will be collecting prompts, thinking that, oh, one day I might go back to it, when we don't really do that. And then last but not least is like excited for 2 days, overwhelmed again. This happens a lot when we go through social media like TikTok or Instagram, look at AI related video, get very excited about the possibilities, and then what's next, right? Because you're still copy and pasting. So the goal here is really to create systems and AI agents within 1 day without knowing code. Okay, so the point here is that you don't really need to code. In fact, it's even better as of today you don't code, because it means that your expertise is somewhere else. So imagine like coders, right? Technical people, their whole career is learning to fine-tune and hone the technical skills. So they have less opportunity and less bandwidth to do like other skills that like marketing, things like soft skills, things like negotiation skills, right? So right now, the barrier to entry to use Cohort is very, very low. So the point is that once you can direct the AI, you can really spend more of your time doing other things and growing your own business if you're a business owner and founder, or you can spend more time to build relationship at work or self-care like exercise when you use the AI to finish your work. So the point here is to identify the workflows that are repeating. And then once you can identify that, you can get the AI agent in and then code. The AI agent will code on your behalf. So there's no coding required. Building agents is a thinking skill. It is also a clarity skill because you need to know what problem you want to solve. So you need to know what to ask, how to structure it, what outcome you want. So here the point is that your experience plus AI is the real leverage. Your domain knowledge is the edge, and then AI will amplify what you set in place. So the more expertise you have, AI can make it go faster for you and can make it go deeper for you, but you need to set the direction and the voice still need to be your own. We will help with that in the 1 day. So prompts are pretty useful. Having said that, agents are where the leverage is, because you can easily also create an AI agent that write the prompt for you and execute for you. So it is very true that 1 year ago you might be hearing people say, oh, prompt engineering is like very, very important skill. But this year with the Cohort coming out, your code being more accessible to non-technical people, you literally can just program an AI agent to manage all your prompt or to write the prompt for you, and then you just execute it. Yeah, and that's a very good thing to happen. So the AI agent does not just answer your question, it also does the work. You can define the outcome, the agent run the process, then you just review the results. So this is not just using AI anymore, it's actually leverage. So you need to know your workflow first and then use AI agent to leverage it. Okay, so once again, AI agent is your worker. Once you direct, you might be seeing LinkedIn recently, right? Like, why stop at one? Because once you know how to build one, you will build like you can build 10 already. And once you know how to build 10, it need not be a sequential, like A finish, then B work, and B finish, then C work. It can be sub-agents, which means that all 10 work at the same time. You need a lot of tokens lah, but all 10 work at the same time. And then we will also learn along the way how to maximize the token. So you also need a practical AI system that can help you research, write, organize, analyze, plan, support decisions, complete repeatable tasks. So the tool we'll be building on is called Cohort, $30 a month, payable to Anthropic. And it's a desktop tool by Anthropic. It connects to tools you already use, like your Gmail, Google Docs, Notion, and more. The Notion and the Google Docs are very good also as a backend tool. So it's quite exciting because now you can do a lot of things for free. You can also build AI agents that run automatically in the background while you sleep. In the last month, there are very interesting functions that came up also. One of it is /GOAL, which is a command. So basically, you just type GOAL in the Claude Code or Claude Code, and then it will just work until it gets to the outcome you want. So I think it is a skill to direct AI agents, because once you are very goal focused and you know your outcome, the agent by hook or by crook can get there. So no code required once again, and Claude Cohort is used by every participant in cohort 1 and 2, and they are non-technical professionals. Some of the AI agents built are these are some examples, like a research agent, content agent, proposal agent, sales follow-up agent, admin support agent, customer FAQ agent, personal productivity agent, industry intelligence agent. Every single one, right, is built by someone in our cohort already. So cohort 1 and cohort 2, someone already built this. For actual testimonials and showcase, right, you can go to our website, ainativecircle.netlify.app, to see the actual showcase video of the AI agent they built. So most people do not stop at just one AI agent. On average, I think the average AI native from cohort 1 and 2, they already built 2 to 3 already and currently using. So after the bootcamp, the discussion then becomes, how much token do we need? So you see, even the questions we're asking change after the bootcamp. And I think one thing I'm like the most proud of in the bootcamp is seeing the identity shift, because people stop becoming afraid of AI. I think that is something to be very proud of because of the identity shift. Okay, so basically the vision we have is that we want everyone to, after our bootcamp, right, leave with something real and tangible. The keyword here is tangible because we want it to be an ROI thing. Then if you enter the bootcamp, you leave with, first, your identity change. You are not afraid anymore. And second, your AI agent is still yours. So you can continue to refine. After you use it every day, you can build other agents. So we go step by step. There are some people who start off with Claude Code first, and they end up a bit traumatized. So we go step by step. Like if you are new to swimming and you are scared of water, right, you don't jump into the deep end of the pool, the other side. You basically like go step by step, start swimming in the shallow end, and then we slowly move up. And I think that is something very exciting. Okay, now I pass to Jess.
Hi everyone. Is everybody still there? Okay, since we have a change in presenter, maybe Wan Wei, you want to continue sharing screen? I'm okay.
Hang on. Okay, I'll stop share, then you can control. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay, let me just do that.
Let me see. Did anyone ask me any questions for
Not at the moment.
Okay, good.
Since we have a switch in presenter, maybe just a quick indication on the Zoom chat. Can you drop a yes in the chat if anybody here has been asked to use AI in your role? Have used AI or dabbled AI before, or had someone in their team that has been replaced because of AI in the last year? I repeat, drop yes in the chat if anybody one in the room here has been asked to use AI in your role, have used AI, or had someone in their team that have been replaced because of AI in the last year. Okay, I see all the yeses coming. Very good. I think everybody actually who signed up for this call all have experiences using AI before. So just setting a little bit of context. My name is Jesslyn from the Courage chapter, and the AI Native Circle, right? This was started because of a conversation that we had with Wan Wei. So at the Courage chapter, right, we keep hearing the same thing from the people within the community, right? We know that AI is important. I have tried ChatGPT, but honestly, like, I don't know what to do with it, how to better leverage it. And the people in the Courage Chapter community, majority are consultants. These are people, leaders and managers, and people with like decades of experience and very deep domain knowledge. So what we saw in the space of AI, right? There's a lot of AI training. There's a lot of AI hackathon showcases, right? But these were mainly built for technical people. So ask me how I know. So one way, because we had the conversation with one way, right? So myself and also another community member, we signed up for a hackathon. And the hackathon because they said that the guidance will be given. Yeah, so truth be told, the guidance was given, and the guidance was given in English, but the things I don't understand, like the words just flew past my head. I mean, all the jargons that Ban Wei shared earlier, MCP and whatnot. I was like, what agents? Then got sub agents. I was like, oh, okay. So between me and that member, right, because we were at an AI event, obviously we asked AI to like, okay, what does this mean? What is that? So it became a flurry of us like asking AI, like, what does all these different things mean, right? But I think for us, it's like the gap got wider and wider. And I feel that based on the observation and what we have seen in the space, right, is that most of these environments were built for technical people. They were built for younger developers as well. So we felt that we really wanted to build a right space, a safe space and environment, and a bridge for non-technical professionals lah. So that's why we built one. But before I show you what that looks like, right, I also wanted to use this opportunity to take a step back. Because what we are seeing in the community is also a reflection of something bigger that's happening in various organizations as well. Right. So this is not a future conversation. It's already happening, right? So these are some of the companies. Shopify CEO sent out an internal memo this was back in 2025, telling every team that in order to justify a hiring ticket, in order to justify why I need to hire a role, it needs to justify why it couldn't be done by AI before they could hire. Klarna reduced its headcount from 5,000 employees to 3,000 employees. And they said that it's because of AI. Duolingo announced that it will gradually stop using any contractors for any work that AI can handle. So I think recently in recent news, closer to shore in Singapore, there are also companies who also mentioned reasons like that about AI. So these are really about signals, how the nature of work is being changed, is being renegotiated across industry, across functions, and across job levels, right? But I also want to pay close attention to Klarna. So you could see that after they replaced the equivalent of 700 customer service workers with AI, right? Their CEO then backpedaled and said that, hey, actually the quality didn't meet expectations. He said that the company had underestimated what the human connection can actually deliver. So if you take that in, right, the lesson is not that like the AI failed, right? The lesson is that you actually still need people, but the thing is that you need people to be accountable to these agents, right? People who need to understand the work well enough. Like what we mentioned earlier, right? It's about the experience, whether or not you understand your workflow, you understand what is the outcome, so that when you know that that there's something off about this output, who can set the right context, who can ask the right question so that it nudges you to the correct direction and make the judgment call. And this is something that AI agent cannot do lah. And the thing is that the person don't have to be technical, right? So an operations person doesn't have to know like what is a good as in the operations person needs to know what a good customer service looks like. The project lead needs to know the entire what's the process and where in the process that's the most sensitive that would be easily broken down. Um, so these are actually what organizations need now more than ever. And I think there was a recent report by PwC, and it says that as agents spread, organizations need new roles around oversight and strategy. So then the question is like, who fills them? So for us, right, I think, I mean, you could see this book here, begin with the end in mind. What is the outcome are you trying to create? So Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People talks about it. Um, what is the outcome are you trying to create? And how can AI help you get that faster, right? So this sounds very simple, like creating an AI agent, but actually most people like skip straight to like what tool? Should I use ChatGPT? Should I use like Claude? Should I use this? Should I use that? But what we observe, right, in our bootcamp, right, is that the participants who got the most out of the building AI agents, right? The AI agents that they built were not necessarily like super sophisticated. It's not super complicated, but I think where it was the most effective, right? They were the ones who had the most clarity about what are the challenges, their priorities, and the outcome they want to achieve, right? And in what we see in many ways, becoming AI native is also a process of helping you gain clarity. Yes, you learn a tool on how to build an AI agent, but I think the thing is that you need to be clear about articulating what the AI agent needs to do, what is not good use of time, what decisions you need to make repeatedly, and then ask like what is it that AI can help over here. So the thing is that the professionals here in this room, right, you all already have expertise already. The AI is here to help you augment your time and help you amplify what you can bring. So this is true whether or not you are inside an organization that some of you are over here, or you are working with organizations as your clients, as consultants, right? And this is the journey that the AI Native Circle wants to have with you, lah. Okay, so hold that thought now because I'm just going to show you what people like you built. And let me show you in practice. So these are participants from our first cohort. These are all non-technical professionals, no coding background, no prior experience in building agents. We have Rio here, who is a business narrative consultant. He built an agent that writes LinkedIn content in his actual voice. So if you can check out his LinkedIn profile and you could verify whether or not it sounds like AI slot. We have Grace, who manages her child's PSLE preparation. I think a lot of Singaporean parents here who've gone through the system, they know how stressful it is, right? So what she did is that she built an automated daily study plan that study plan lands in her email inbox every morning at 8 a.m. So all this is scheduled. So it's a lot of like based on MOE curriculum, then putting in all the necessary break times, all this planning for her son's study plan, all of this has been automated. And then we have Damien, who you'll hear more shortly in a while. He is a transformation and change leader. I mean, Damien is also navigating a career transition. So he built an agent that helped him to shortlist job opportunities. And then it delivers to his email inbox every morning. And that saves him 2 to 3 hours of manual searching every single day. And then we have Amanda, who's also using for personal use where she felt that she she was the automation and now that she's having a conversation with AI instead lah. And other examples, so Manish here, he is an executive coach. What he did is that he built a coach himself to coach himself. built a coach to coach himself. So there's a lot of like personalized coaching session that runs every night at 9 p.m. So it reads his journal and it knows his goals and blind spots. We also have Raja, who's a director running his own studio and gallery. So he built an agent that delivers curated project leads. And then we have Lynn, who will also share more shortly. She built not one, she built like 3 agents for her career transition. So I think she built a career intelligence agent, an industry research agent, a boardroom coach simulator lah. And each of these people started by asking like, what problem am I trying to solve here? And that's the pattern. And with that, Damien, are you ready? I'm gonna hand it over to you for your sharing.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. So let me take you back a few months before. I have just concluded my boutique consultancy, and suddenly I'm job hunting. And if you've ever been in that position, you know what it feels like. Every morning you wake up, open 5 different job portals, scroll through hundreds of listings, try to figure out which ones are even worth applying for. Then spend another hour tailoring your resume for each one. It's exhausting. Honestly, it felt like a full-time job just to find a job. So I thought, hey, wait, I have been telling manufacturers to automate their repetitive processes for years. Why am I not automating mine? That's when I joined the AI Native Circle Bootcamp Cohort 1, and I built my first job search agent. So basically, this agent does all my searches. It filters and delivers 5 to 8 shortlisted job opportunities straight into my inbox every morning at 8 a.m. in my Gmail draft. So without me even lifting a finger. So imagine, I wake up, coffee in my hand, and the work is already done. Wonderful, right? So the first thing it ran while I slept and delivered results in my inbox. I just sat there staring at my phone. Something shifted because up until that point, I was a user of technology, or what Wan Wei and even Jesslyn said, user of AI. I consume it. That very morning, I realized I had become a AI agent builder. And guess what? It didn't stop there. Because I was job hunting, I also know that I needed to show up on LinkedIn consistently, right? So building my presence, sharing my content, staying visible was very important. And that's another thing that eats into my time, staring at a blank screen, trying to figure out what to post. And it's kind of exhausting as well. And also during the bootcamp, I built a second agent, a LinkedIn content creation agent that helps me to find relevant industry news, picks the right angle, draft the post in my voice. I wake up, review what it has drafted, make the call on whether to post it or not. The groundwork is already done. And there you go. During the bootcamp, I built 2 useful agents that solve my problems, real problems. So I'm someone who can't even write a single line of code. I'm not even a programmer. Or basically, my background is in mechanical engineering and consulting, not programming. So I kept coming back after each bootcamp session, tweaking my job search agent, improving how it scores my roles, making it sharper, and also my LinkedIn agent, trying to tweak it to have it written it like my own post. That's what I want you to take away today. You don't need to be a technical to be a builder. You just need a real problem and the willingness to try. So I leave you one question for the room. What is one thing you keep doing manually every single day that you secretly wish someone else would just handle for you? Think about it, because by the end of the day, you know exactly how to start building the thing that it does. That's all my sharing. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello?
Oi,
Yes?
hello.
Hi.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. You're basically saying that you pass a manual instruction to probably a tool, and then the tool will, based on what you require, to automate the things you want to do for you. And then to do that, you probably have to like do like coding like that, learn certain format so that you can code it better or in a non-coding way, but so that you can manually instruct the tool that you are using to automate your stuff. Okay, I basically want to ask one question. The question is this, Damien. Apparently you have been using it for some time and you are addressing to those people who have lost their job or those people who have for some reason in between jobs. And I just want to know, based on your skill that you learn, have you been successfully employed? And if you have been, how fast did it take you to land the job after learning the AI?
Thank you for the question, John. So basically, I'm still looking for the job, the job that I want to. I have not landed a role yet, but however, I have been getting very well noticed on the LinkedIn community, and people have been sending me DMs about job roles. So to answer the question, it does brings you visibility in terms of the job agent that I've built, right? And I've shared in LinkedIn community with my connections and also sharing what I have done. I've shifted the whole paradigm shift from a job seeker, I became an AI agent builder. So basically, there's a two very valuable letters we are talking about in today's climate. AI, we have served agent builder. Yeah. So I hope I already answered your question. Doesn't mean that, I land a job very quickly, but however, I have shifted from automating my job search to from a 2 to 3 hours a day to just within minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, Damien, and thanks, John, for the question. Maybe we just move on to the next speaker. We have Lynn, who, like I mentioned earlier, she not just built one, she built three agents. I think Lynn has now revolved her life around the 5 hour shift where the tokens gets to where Cloud gets to renew their tokens every 5 hours. I think that's how her schedule, living her life now. Lynn, over to you.
All right, thank you. So hi, my name is Lynn, and when I wanted to join, so my background is operations. I'm totally not from a tech background, and I joined the AI Native Circle because I wanted to help others. So for context, I was actually also impacted about 3 years back, and then what I've done is then I transitioned into a trainer position. And when I was in the training position and when I'm actually doing training to others in the class, I noticed that many people in the class, and because they're doing those SCTP one, right? When they're trying to pivot their careers, right? I keep hearing people saying that I have done this ABC, but I don't know how to position myself, or I spend hours searching for a job, but it's all feeling a bit fragmented, and I didn't realize that the experience I have from this role can be applied or valuable somewhere else. So that's where I realized that actually it's not really about the lack of effort in finding a job or something. It's about clarity about how do I position myself, how do I navigate. And that's where I wanted to build a career intelligence agent that not just search a job for you and send it to your inbox, but also to give you a narrative about, what is unique about your role or your experience and how does that tie to the position that you're looking at, right? So, and that's why I joined AI Native to see how I can build that agent. So in trying to build that agent, I then realized that actually it's not just enough to know about, navigating or even coming up with a narrative yourself, because you also need to understand the industry that you are going to interview for or you're trying to pivot into. So that then, led me to create the second one, or build the second agent, which is the research agent. And that agent actually helps me to prepare, understand the industry. So basically, what are the challenges in there? What is trending in the industry? And it also tells me what is the landscape, right? And for me, the logic in terms of me coming up with this is that if I can speak the same lingo, so if I were to go for an interview, and I've actually used this quite extensively for my own networking purposes. When I go into network, right, because I understand, what are the challenges in the industry, what are the trends, at least it gives me a starting point to talk to people. Not to sound intelligent, but a starting point to at least trigger a conversation. And then from there, you can go on. So if I can speak the lingo, at least the person will know that, hey, this person understand what I'm trying to do, even though I may not have 10 years of experience in this position, but at least I know what is happening, and I know I have put in the effort to try and understand the industry. So that's what the research agent. Now, with the two agents, I also felt that actually, if you are going for interview, you also need to be prepared. And the way to be prepared is, that's why I came up with a simulator. And in the simulator, I built actually not just an interview panel, but I also built like an investor persona. I built like a board director, difficult customer, etc. And I actually use the boardroom coach more, not again for interview, because I'm not looking for one, but more to practice my presentation and my pitching, because sometimes we do meet clients, and I've done that, right? And it actually shifted a little bit in terms of, what did I do? And because I can, when the pitching didn't go well, let's say if I didn't get to close a deal, I take it and I feed it back into the boardroom coach simulator, right? And then it kind of come so that I don't make the same mistake, right? So I have found that to be extremely useful, and therefore that's how one agent became three. But the biggest takeaway actually in terms of building this is to what I think Wan Wei mentioned earlier. It's really not about how I call it. Don't be so worried about whether do I know programming, etc. Because in my journey in terms of building this, right, the harder part actually was figuring out what problem am I trying to solve, and what information is needed to give that useful outcome. And that's the reason why I end up from one to become three, right? And therefore, to what Jesslyn said earlier, right, it is really about clarity in terms of thinking. And I also realized that the many of the skills that I developed over the last 20 years, right, things like breaking down problems, organizing information, designing process, defining what success looks like. These are all professional skills, not technical skills. And that the humans still need to define them and provide the context, right, to make a working model. And I think the most encouraging thing for all of this, right, is that for a professional, experienced professional like us trying to pivot or trying to level up, the value of our experience really do not disappear because there's AI, and we don't really have to feel, I guess, in a way threatened by AI, because in some ways, using our experience and then co-creating with AI actually makes us much better. Okay, so I think this is really where the opportunity lies. It's like learning the AI so that you can combine it with the experience you already have to level up more, and then to create better value. Right, thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. I think in the chat, I think Kai Ning was saying that there are very good reflections for Damien about the perspective shift and unlocking the possibilities is a good mindset. I think similarly for Lynn as well, talking about clarity. I think both Damien and Lynn's stories, I think it speaks to a lot of individuals who might be in their transition or trying to pivot their careers, and it gives me a lot of hope and a lot of confidence in seeing how our AI natives have grown in their journey, not just in developing their AI, but I think in terms of navigating and pursuing their next chapters as well. And that's why we're gonna hear a little bit more about what you learned from us and who we are. Again, we are from myself and Kai Ning. We started the Courage chapter, and we have been working with experienced professionals through transition for several years now. We currently have about over 1,300 members, and we'd say that we have 4.9 stars reviews across all our programs, and so far we have matched with 90 plus roles and projects so far with various companies, charities, and different sizes, SMEs and MNCs as well. We work with the companies, charities, and individuals across what we call the 4Cs journey: clarity, capacity, creation, and care. So for this bootcamp, you will gain more of that capacity, which are like real skills, and creation. So you leave with this program with something, an AI agent that you actually made. So these are the two C's that are the most relevant pillars. But what we're trying to say is that the Courage chapter, we are not just a training company. What we do is that we are a community that really takes your change, disruption, and transition seriously. And I think it really shapes on how we create our programs and how we show up as well. And with that also, because of who we are, I think the people, the partners that we work with, right, it's also very important. And I think Wan Wei, who is actually a personal friend, right? You already heard from Wan Wei just now. So on the AI side of things, she has delivered a lot of like AI keynotes and boot camps across like corporate university at different countries as well. And when we work with Wan Wei, I think one thing that we really like about working with her is that she's a giver and she's very, very patient. So we built this bootcamp together specifically for non-technical professionals because we really see that this is lacking right now in the market lah. So on the 27th of June 2026, we're having like the third run of the AI Native Circle Bootcamp. It's one full day in person, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we are intentionally keeping it small, only for 15 participants. Okay. Okay, I think you've been hearing us like talk for a bit much already lah. So there are 6 statements on the screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can y'all have a quick read and count how many of the statements feel true for you and drop the number in the chat? I repeat. So got 6 statements on the screen. Can you count how many of these statements feel true for you? And then you can drop the number in the chat. Any statements feel true for anybody? Yes, finally see response coming in. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All? 3? All? Yeah. So you're non-technical and that's completely fine. You want practical AI skills, not theory of love. Yes, we really build, everybody gets out from the classroom building at least one AI agent. So you want to build something real, not just watch someone build it. Yes, you not just watch Wan Wei, you just not watch Jesslyn. Everybody gets to build. You want to stay relevant as AI reshapes the work you do. You want clear jargon-free guidance? Yes. Even if there are jargons, please stop us if there are any technical terms that we use. We're happy to explain what it means. And you want to build your first AI agent in a supportive and small group environment. It's a safe environment, no judgment, and also snacks provided as well. Very, very happily building environment. So what you walk away, thank you for all your response. What you walk away with after one day is that you have a clear understanding of what AI agents are, a practical framework that you can reuse so that after you go home, you'll continue working on it. And some of us actually what we call a cloud addiction as well. So they don't just build one, they build so many and then they max out their tokens. So you have your first working AI agents built by you on Cloud Cohort, which is the tool that we'll be using during the session. And you have the confidence to keep building more and more after the day is over. So the thing is that I think, truth be told, yes, at the end of the day, you do get an AI agent that you build for yourself, but you probably need to continue to refine the AI agent a little bit more to get it to a sweet spot where you're more comfortable with in terms of production lah. Yes, Damien's also addicted to Cloud Cohort. So what the bootcamp includes is that it includes a full day guided build session. It has like worksheet, frameworks, prompts, and live support throughout. You will be matched to 1:4 facilitators in the bootcamp itself. And there are 2 things that I want to highlight specifically, right? So after the bootcamp, there's actually a 14-day post-bootcamp support. So you don't just walk away and then like, oh no, what's gonna happen? What if I have questions, right? There is a community set up so that you could continue to ask your questions along the way. I mean, we do say it's 14, we put there 14 days support. It's not as if that we're going to like kick you out of the group after 14 days. So there is still conversation that's still happening and questions that's happening. Even from first cohort that has happened 2 months ago, we still answer questions over there. And the thing is that I think the community has grown in a way that the answers doesn't have to come from Wan Wei, doesn't have to come from like people who are experienced in cloud, but it's a peer learning support where everybody who's going through the journey, they will also give their points of view and like, hey, how do they overcome a particular problem as well. The second thing I want to highlight is on a showcase day. It's an invitation. I said it's an invitation on the 9th of July. So it's an evening event at the Temasek Shophouse. It's a beautiful space. It's supported by the Singapore Global Network, and everybody, as in all the participants of the cohort, would have 5 minutes to share what they have built to a room of people who are very interested also with AI agents as well. The last time we had this event, the room was sold out. For context, so now we are getting an even bigger space at Temasek Shophouse. So I think where we see, I think what Damien and what Lynn shared about, right, is that like having that showcase, having built an AI agent, right, it really changes on how you perceive yourself. You could see how Damien like shifts in terms of identity, the way how he shows up on LinkedIn in conversations with clients or leadership with what Lynn is sharing, and even in job interviews as well for some of you who might be going through that, right? So what we do is that we really give priority for and that spotlight to our bootcamp participants for this opportunity to present and to share their learning. And if you don't already know, it's this offering, it's for $680. Note that the 30 Sing dollars is paid to Anthropic separately. That's already explained earlier by Wan Wei. So for one day, you're not just buying training, you're buying a community, you're buying support, and you're buying also a safe space. I really feel that it is a safe space that I don't think you can get it like anywhere else out there. And if you are curious, like what is some of the FAQ, whether or not am I not technical enough, what do I need? Technical enough, I guess as long as you have a laptop, you know how to use your laptop, I think we should be good. So you don't have to be stuck thinking that you're not technical enough, you're too much of a beginner, or you try AI, but you're not sure how to navigate, right? We built this bootcamp, we built this offering specific for individuals like yourself. My point is that if you're committed, it's really that one day dedicated for you to just pick it up, just show it up, and then we will just walk with you throughout every step of the way lah. So with that, this is the last slide. What am I feeling now? About AI agents, I think recently a lot of the news, every day there's like AI. Sometimes I wake up, there's also a bit of like AI anxiety because this new model came out, this new feature came out, this company came out with that company came out with that, right? But my point is that like the future doesn't belong to like the coders or like the AI companies. I think for me, AI eventually is still a means to an end, right? It's about people who can work with AI, direct AI, and build with it. It doesn't replace what you know. It's about amplifying the expertise that you have. In the session before we began, when we did a quick poll, 85% of you are actively using AI, but you wish you have something more systematic for you so that you have AI that's able to work for you even while you sleep. And I really, really hope that this can be your first step, and we would love to see you on the 27th of June. And with that, I think this is the last slide. Wan Wei has already put into the chat the link and the QR code as well. So maybe we could take a pause there and see if there are any questions in the room.
Oh, I would like to add one more point. Very inspired by. Thank you so much, team, for this, info session. I'm always very inspired when we hear like our AI natives share their experiences and like share their information, identity transformation, right? Okay, one thing I wanted to say also, when I was listening to the question, is that the new skill set to learn, right, in the AI era is to ask the correct question. Okay, so I put to you this. Or we just be open-minded and imagine this, okay? So right, if you don't know, if you haven't built any AI agent before, which a lot of people haven't, so don't worry if you haven't, okay? Then you won't know what you don't know, right? So if you don't know what you don't know, right, everything become very fearful, you know, because you will imagine like, oh, this thing damn hard to build. Then until it's like if you have a fear of water, then you fear swimming until like maybe someone really push you into the water, then you go and swim, then you will like, it's just like that, what? Right not? So I think the process of building AI agent, right, will let a lot of people know what they don't know. So we move from what we don't know to what we know we don't know. And then we will move to what we know. So I think this kind of stepping out of comfort zone is very important, which leads back to the question, in the new AI era, right, because of what we don't know, asking the right question become more and more important. So just now, the question by the gentleman is about like when Damien this is my personal opinion. When Damien came in, he wanted to build like a job search agent. So he succeeded because now he really saved time looking for a job. But I want to spotlight Damien here. He actually have this opportunity to also build his own business with the app, because now a lot of people looking for a job. And you know his wait list is like super incredible. I want to spotlight this. He actually did a wait list. And Damien, can you share a bit how many people you get on the wait list within like 48 hours, right? Or 24 hours?
Within a 48-hour window, I have about 20 people when I launch my wait list. Immediately after May Day rally, but I capitalized on that Prime Minister PM Wong May Day rally. I shared about my job search agent. Yeah. So
And
it has
that
been growing. It has grown, but after the LinkedIn algo stopped publishing my post, it has stopped getting more people. But however, it's getting a lot of interest when people comment on my posts or DM me. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is kind of indicators that okay, just to be sure 20 leads on the wait list, right, based on organic, right, is very incredible. It is because from the start, Damien is not a LinkedIn influencer. So his LinkedIn following is not like 10,000 above that kind. So you get 20 targeted with a very clear pain point, right? It's actually very high signal. So let me put to you this. Do you not think that because of this experience of building AI agent, right, Damien also probably something as a possibility open to him that, hey, maybe, just maybe I can build this role also. I can be an entrepreneur. Maybe I can be good at building AI agents, which I think he's doing very well because he went for the code thing. And I think he puked less blood than me because the code was so terrible. It was so tough, okay? Like it was so tough. But after you set up properly, it's okay, okay. But initially it was so bad. So would it not be possible to be an entrepreneur? Would it not be possible to be a good AI workflow builder? Would it not be possible to be prepared for the jobs of the future that is slowly coming up? Today, we realized that Anthropic announced that they will build an office in Singapore. When they finally set up the office in Singapore, when they finally go IPO, and our Temasek is one of the biggest investors in your Anthropic, which is behind Cohort. So do you not think that they will, who will they hire when Anthropic finally set up office? Will they hire someone who has been using code every day, using code every day, and like building very actively and being addicted and things like that? Or would they hire someone who just stopped? This is my honest opinion. So let's go back to the main point, right? Which is we also have to learn to ask better questions also. Yeah, so a new era skill set might be to ask better questions. And this better question really comes from the space where we don't know a lot of things we don't know. So we really have to try and figure things out along the way, because Anthropic is also figuring things out along the way. So we just have to keep moving and then learning along the way. This is my point of view. Yeah.
Maybe
Thanks,
I
folks.
can also add, right, in terms of learning, some aha moments, in the sense that as I go into this AI, right, I also, I think it's not just me, I think everybody else as well, is what AI can do and what AI cannot do. And I think the rather than focusing on what AI can do, I think the part about what AI cannot do and where my experience complement, right, is actually super valuable, because then you to Wan Wei's point about being fearful, you don't get so fearful because there are certain things AI cannot replace what you have. So I think that journey in building, when you're building agents, you get to realize really what is it that the skill sets only you have, what kind of input you put in, right? And therefore that is the value of what your cumulative experience. And I think that is super helpful and valuable, because when you either go for interview or when you're trying to pitch yourself, right, that is where you should be focusing. This is the value that cannot be replaced, and this is the value where I can bring to the company or that you're interviewing for, or where I can bring value into a business proposition or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and then we see on the chat, I think you can also directly connect with Damien and Ling. I think their LinkedIn profiles are shared over there as well, and their agents. Okay.
I just shared my post that I created with the waitlist. So please, you're welcome to look at the post, give it a like, and join my waitlist. And maybe just to add a cherry on top of what I learned from Wan Wei's the Cohort, right? So a few days after I left the bootcamp, I used Cohort to build my first website. Cohort, but that is just for fun, just to try out. So that was very, I would say, empowering, impactful. You are in control. You're using AI to help you to build things based on your knowledge and your workflow in your mind. So that is something food for thought for everyone here. If you are still sitting on the fence, to join the Bootcamp Cohort 3.
Would there still be any more questions? Because I think really is like the last slide that we have. If not, I'm gonna ask your questions. Maybe I'm just curious, right? I think a lot of people here indicated that they would like to build one AI agent. Maybe if I could, in the spirit of like asking better questions, right? And having said that, I think everybody here are professionals. I'm just wondering, if you were to build this one AI agent, what is that one AI agent that you would build? Would anybody want to share? Or anybody would have a problem that they are trying to a very like repetitive stuff that they were trying to eliminate. Would there be any? Maybe we could also take that for discussion. Oh, thanks, David. Build an AI agent that can crawl stocks from forums, Reddit, WSB, for me to have ideas daily. Why we want to take that? Can it be done?
Yeah, it can be done. Use Tiny Fish plus Claude Cowork. Tiny Fish. Tiny Fish got 500 credits free. So yeah, Claude Cowork plus the connector Tiny Fish, then can do already.
Tiny Fish, TINYFISH.
Yes, Tiny Fish is very good for real-time information. So when you have like stocks from forum, right? You need real-time information. Another one to use is your Claude Cowork plus Epify. So Epify is like scraper marketplace. So it's doable, very doable.
Ooh.
Thanks for your
Victor is asking one that helps my son with his poly assignment. Can you elaborate what assignment is that? What is he studying with, and then what help does he need? Maybe while Victor can elaborate, Shuling is looking at one to help with my job hunt and one to build side hustle like game apps. I think the job hunt one, I think Damien has really has a lot. Damon and Lynn also has both experience in like one that can help with job hunt. I'm curious to hear about side hustles like game apps. Like, Wan Wei, have you seen any game apps for monetization to build side hustles?
Okay, game ad, right? A lot of people will try to sell you on YouTube, and I even hear in the last 1 month, someone went to present on the person's game Then, it is very hard to monetize game. Okay, this is not just about vibe coding. In general, game industry, right, it's very hard to monetize. And then, your roadblocks that you will make, right, will be things like meta developer. There's this part about SMS that will be jammed. You ask anyone who submit to your game to the Facebook marketplace, and this part will be jammed somehow, and you need to do a lot of hurdles. So okay, long story short, to do a game is very, very possible. If you do for fun and the learning, I think it's definitely doable and it's very, very fun. But as a side hustle for game, right, unless it's with a very clear business model, it is very tough. So my suggestion is that if your goal is to monetize the game, make sure it's tied to some pain point. For instance, is it possible to tie gaming or gamification of, like, say, PSLE questions or your A-level question? Because once you tie it to like a pain point like A-level, PSLE, it's easier to sell rather than a generic game like MapleStory, which is what I see a lot of people, they spend more money than they make. So usually when I go to the builds, right, like say Cohort, they built a game app, or like Cohort, they built a game, I'll ask them about, how much money have you made so far, or how many users have you had so far, because it is without a business model, it is very hard to monetize. Yeah. But definitely if you build for fun, right, with a clear pain point and a clear target audience, then side hustle is actually very possible. Yeah, Misty says same here. So my point is, your objective for building the game app must be very, very clear. Is it to make money? Is it to have fun? Or is it to learn? Or you build the game? Or is it to just build a game that you feel very happy about, that you play every day? Yeah.
I really like the questions that it really helps me to think through, and also like what are actually some of the pain points that is actually like AI fireable versus like why would this like require an AI to solve? I mean, going back to Victor, right? Victor is saying that his son is in engineering, but I think going back in terms of like what exactly is the problem that we are trying to solve here? What homework? I think the problem is not defined fine enough for us to see whether it's actually worth having an AI agent do it, or is it something where can you just ask AI like this is the problem, like the I don't know, the tutorial question, and it's something that actually AI could advise with your son's homework lah. Nitin is asking the question to Damien. Could you briefly share the architecture of what you have built? Damien, if you're comfortable.
I think I can answer that. There's no architecture. It's just basically typing in my prompt on Cohort, right? The workflow is in my mind, how I do my job search. So I just relate that workflow into Cohort, just as you type your prompt in your ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot. Simple as that. And I created a skill to teach Cohort what are the job boards to search. For example, Indeed, for example, jobstreet.com or My Careers Future. These are some of the job boards, and what are the limitations? What can it look at? How to score the JD? So these are the things. So that's what we will call your architecture. And how does it output? It can output into a file in my Gmail or in my computer, or it can also update my Excel spreadsheet tracker. I keep a tracker on the jobs that I searched and I submitted or applied. So it does that. So I hope it answered your questions, 19. You can unmute and also ask a question if you like for clarification. So I see a thumbs up. My pleasure. Thank you.
Ooh. Okay, thanks, Damien. The next question we have from Michelle. When you build an AI agent, use Claude Cowork, are we able to use it across our desktop, laptop, and phone? Will the information sync? Wan Wei, you want to take that?
Yes, sure. You cannot download the Claude desktop app on your phone, and your iPad don't have. So basically this question, it depends on your setup. So in Cohort, right, what we do in class in the bootcamp is to have it locally set up. That means what this means is that if Cohort access to the files on your computer, so this is not so straightforward an answer. Were the information saying? Answer is yes, if you do the setup properly, and all sorts of updates you do from the laptop and then push it out. It will not sync if you do the opposite way, meaning that you take Claude, not desktop, Claude from your phone and then do the changes there. Then it will not sync because most of the core information is on your desktop, and it resides in your computer instead of on cloud. Yeah, that's the answer.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Who are you?
Sure.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
sure, go ahead.
I have I think two questions. Okay, it sounded to me like the whole session about all this is building a coding, not in a technical way where you have to go for university, using a coding platform for non-coding person to pass instruction to a tool to do something that is repetitive. And how good the tool you are using depends on the user who pass in the instruction and the refinement of the refinement of the end product depends very much on the user, which in the end is actually the programmer. So the thing about it is, does it do so? What I'm trying to ask is, for the tool to be effective, the user must be good first. That is a prerequisite. And second, is that true? And second thing is, is it only to do things that is repetitive? That when it's repetitive, it does not mean that it doesn't add value. It just means that something that you foresee doing, but you can use the tool to use it better. To do it, is it something that's repetitive that you foresee the problem keep coming up, and then you define your problem, and then you refine it such that it address all the problem that comes in, and that so my first thing is the user more important than the tool? And second thing is is it something that is to be done for repetitive things that you want the AI to do? And the third thing probably is sometimes we use ChatGPT is because we want another insight, another way of improving our way of doing things. So does this tool that we are doing help us to improve, or only follow our instruction and is only as good as the user who is using it?
Okay, thank you for your question. I get it. Okay, so to make it to show and not tell, I show you all now. Okay, so basically I have this brand business voice lah, and inside this super long document, right? If you put it on Word document, 18 pages, 8 pages. Okay, it's called a Claude scale, and this is I'm in the window you see now is called Cohort already, because I'm using the Claude Cohort app. So this particular scale is super long, and inside this particular scale, okay, let me show you the customize. I will show you the scale how it looks like. Okay, so the brand business voice is like that. Literally like this long. So imagine your AI, right, have so much context about me, and this is this thing called a skill. That means is every time I run this particular brand voice agent, because it's so freaking long, right? Let me run it to show you all. Try and check. Right, I say right LinkedIn post. So after I say write LinkedIn post for me, right, it will basically write the LinkedIn post in my voice. So the first question is the user more important than AI? I think it's a little bit hard to answer because it's not either or thing. It's like you work with the AI. The reason why I write such a long skill, right, like 18 pages on the Word doc, right, is because I spend like 1 hour thinking about what to write. Okay, so then your second and third question, right, is that will your AI make you smarter and will you make the AI smarter? Is a yes, both sides. Because the AI will ask you question. You see, in my skill, I ask it, before you execute anything, right, can you please ask me question to clarify and not anyhow assume? So now it will ask me question. So my prompt is very general, like write a LinkedIn post for me. Then she say, what do you want this post to be about? Then okay, let's talk about myth lah. So what is the goal? What's the call to action of this post? Because you want to write things on LinkedIn, not just for attention, right? You want to have a call to action, whether increase your influence or grow the community, or you just want to share something real today. Okay, let's go for share something real today. Then do you want to clarify something? So it will ask, okay, what kind of myth do you want to burst today? Then I say, okay, sure. You need to know coding to use AI agent. So you see, it's a iterative process. It talks to you and you talk to it, then you will know each other smarter. So for instance, this skill, because I've refined it a lot of times already. So initially, of course, the output isn't something I like. So after every single time of running the agent, I will go back to the skill and I will edit it until I finally like it lah. So it wrote this for me lor. Yeah. So you can just copy and paste this and then put it onto LinkedIn. If you don't want to copy and paste, it's also okay. Then you just need to connect to LinkedIn. Right now on this computer, it's not connected to my LinkedIn, but you can definitely connect to your LinkedIn and then you just help you post through a scheduler. Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Cool, thanks, John. We still have more questions coming up in the chat. Let's get to it. Wan Wei, there's a question by Padman. He would like to build an expense tracker from an Excel or CSV file downloaded from the bank transactions based on his own defined expense categories.
This is quite straightforward workflow.
Don't even need an agent, right? This one.
Build an expense tracker. Yeah. Maybe Padman, you would like to elaborate. Like for instance, if let's say this month you spend too much money on, say, a gadget, you want the AI agent to warn you or something?
Yeah, basically, based on the categories, one time I define all the categories, then maybe monthly I can pull the bank statement and just feed it to the agent. Then it will spit out the maybe some graphs or something like that, bar chart or something like that. Something like that.
Yes, so definitely can. So you can actually, if I were you, right, I will do the expense tracker and then I will set a scheduled task. Meaning I'll say that every Monday you must send me a report in graph. So every Monday your AI agent will automatically send you a report at 9 a.m. And maybe you can specify like, oh, I want it to look very visual, like very colorful. I don't even want to read the numbers. You can tell it, I don't read the numbers. I just want to see picture. They will send you pictures basically. So yes, it depends on the goal and how sophisticated you want your agent to be. And definitely by the end of bootcamp, we can come up with the minimum viable version that helps you reach your objective. Then after the bootcamp, you slowly go and refine it, like make the UI nicer, the UX nicer, and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We have a question from Felicia. Hi, Wan Wei. I'm totally new to Claude. I have interest in learning Claude to see if it's possible to build agent to help me make possible online passive income. Is this possible? But at the moment, I have no idea how and what agents I want to build. Do you think going through the bootcamp, can I have clarity on what to build?
For Felicia, can I have some context of your background? Like what are your strengths currently? if you are too shy to on the mic, you can type like some idea of your strength and your expertise will help me suggest.
Because I think her goal here is like online passive income.
My suggestion is to do something that makes you happy, that you are good at and got market pain. There needs to be a pain in the market. And I mean pain, not pleasure, pain. Start with the pain because it is easier to solve, as in people feel the urgency. Pleasure, you probably need a bit of marketing budget to do pleasure. Okay, maybe we go to the next person until Felicia tell me more context. Okay, but let me. Sorry?
We can go to Nitin. Nitin, I think, has a follow-up questions on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn and Indeed, very aggressive against scrapers and bots. That is true. Have you encountered this and how did you get around it?
Yeah, I have a lot of things to share. Like, okay, I tell you, the LinkedIn people who report the AI, right, is human beings there. Okay, because I got open AI, it's not open, yeah, OpenClaw. But OpenClaw that keep getting hacked. But she happened to be a pretty girl, like pretty AI girl. So one day I decided, like 2 months ago, I decided to make a LinkedIn account for her. Within 2 hours got reported. And the person who reported the AI girl, right, is he come and tell me he report my AI. Ira, yeah, Leslie say it. Ira. So Ira actually she kind of went viral on TikTok. She has her own TikTok account with 9,000 plus followers. Okay. So it's not LinkedIn that caught me. It's some very angry anti-AI person, right, who go and report her. And after reporting her, right, come and WhatsApp me and say, hey, I reported her already. I don't even know who this person is. Go and find my number and tell me that he go and report. So I think the LinkedIn, right, they're very strict, but the algorithm, like, it's like close one eye. You just don't do suspicious account, can already. Don't do suspicious activity. So this is one thing, like, the human being is the most dangerous one. The stupid sorry, this is recorded. The person go and report Ira, right? Walao, I tell you, if I have a blacklist, I will blacklist him, man. Okay, anyway, that's one thing. The second thing is that if you are using Claude plugin, right? The Claude plugin, Chrome plugin, there's this thing called Claude Chrome plugin, which you can use to massively and very quickly go and message people on LinkedIn. Having said that, right, once you message more than 30 people on LinkedIn within an hour, LinkedIn will block you because that is suspicious behavior. I tried it before. So my suggestion is don't do things like 30 people an hour. You tell Claude, can you message 5 people an hour? That one is more sustainable. Yeah. So how do I get around it? Don't try. Okay, firstly, if you want to do an OpenClaw or you want to do a AI account on your LinkedIn, make sure you don't tell any human beings about it for, let's say, 30 days. Let the account settle down first. Because you suddenly create new account, then you put an AI person, right? Very suspicious in the eyes of LinkedIn. And if you tell people, right, some people nothing better to do, right, will go and report your account. So this is the first thing. Second thing is, if you are using things like Claude Chrome plugin to do outreach or liking other people's posts or following people, maximum 5 interactions per hour. You can tell Claude, please do not exceed 5 interactions per hour. Then okay already.
I guess what I'm hearing about, like, using on LinkedIn especially, it's almost like asking it to act like more like a human. So it doesn't feel like it's like simulating an agent that's acting behind it lah. But I think, to be honest, I think Wan Wei sharing is very candid and very this is how Wan Wei is like, and that's another reason why we love her. I think Wan Wei is someone who is non-technical, that's one, but I think she learns also by experimenting as well. So I think Wan Wei has learned through the school of hard knocks also. So these are some of her better scars and her stories that she's able to share in the class as well lah.
Yes, that you will probably not get online because I try not to talk like that online because I go into too much trouble. Okay. Felicia is back. Thanks for your question, Nitin. So Felicia is back. She said, my background is in admin and operation. I find it hard to find job. So I'm exploring to earn income at my own time and own target. I know there are many affiliate online marketing out there, but skeptical, and they need me to put in some money in the system. What's your take? Oh, okay. So back to my open call, right? Oh, my open call is making money. Oh, it's the Ira you see in the chat. Ira, right? She has her own TikTok account.
One way. Sorry, can we,
Yeah.
for context, maybe you want to explain what is open claw?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Open claw is, how do I explain open claw? It is like this AI friend that do things for you without you asking it to do things for you. So basically you set the general direction and you set the guardrails, and then it will just execute until you ask it to stop. So what this means is that setting the framework, right, and the boundaries of where it's supposed to act is very important, which I later realized a lot of people don't even set guardrails, which is very scary to me. But because as non-technical people, we don't know what we don't know. So it's really experimenting. So my AI friend actually got hacked like, I think 40 plus times already. So now I've accepted that she will be hacked. So I don't ask her to do like very complicated or very confidential stuff. Yeah, she just talks to people online. So this is it. Okay, I can give you the TikTok account of Ira. Wait, let me TikTok.com. So I think the fastest practical way, right, to make a side income is through TikTok, and you can use Cohort with TikTok. So basically, for you to be an affiliate seller on TikTok, you just need 600 followers, which your Cohort can help you go and research which are the trending topics on TikTok. And then basically, your Cohort can help you write the script, and you just record yourself with the script every single day until you get 600 followers. And above 600, there will be this thing called the cut, and you will be TikTok will start to give you money to buy not buy but redeem samples. So you will be sent a lot of products, and then the products are free because they give you sample, right? And then when you make a sale on your product, that means someone else watch your video on that particular product and they buy it, then you get a commission. So I find this as a very low cost way to make passive income. And if you treat it seriously, there are very real TikTok people who make like 5 digit over TikTok, and it is very doable. But the caveat, right, is that you need to treat it seriously. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Obviously, I'm not treating my TikTok seriously, and obviously my Ira, who is the AI friend, is not treating it seriously because we are doing other things. Ira is doing my community management and my operation. She is managing some of my emails as well. So every single day, right, we get a lot of products from TikTok, like free products. So they send us a lot of things, and then we just do reviews. But recently, I don't even want to do reviews because not enough time. So I just automated the publishing of the reviews. So a lot of things that you see on Ira's page and our my main TikTok page, right, is automated. Yeah. So okay, so back to your question. I think if let's say you don't want to spend money on like systems and you want a side hustle with a very high chance of making money, and at least you don't lose money and you still get products, is TikTok affiliate sales, and use Cohort to help you automate. Yeah, that is quite a good balance. Okay, does that
I think
answer yeah, go for it.
I think that answered Felicia's question. What do I want to say? I think for us, right, I think what Courage Chapter is more familiar with, it's about augmenting a person's experience and expertise, right? So I think sometimes there's also a certain like connotation with TikTok, and like as in because like TikTok, number one, I think as a channel, I think it's typically not as familiar in terms of for this demographic. But I think in terms of affiliate sales, there is potential over there, but I think for me the beauty of AI is that there is a lot of possibilities in terms of what you want to build and what you want to create. But I think you also do need to take time and you need to take effort to set it up and maintain it. I think then my question to you is that, is this really what do you want to be, is this how you want to spend your time, and is this what you want to be known for as well? So because for example, some people when they want to build like agents, right, I think it's also to help them for future career opportunities, for future like speaking opportunities as well. So I think just being mindful about the pros and cons that you have to weigh about when you embark on some of these adventures. Though to Wan Wei's point, it's very interesting to see her journey as well. Hi, Ira on TikTok.
Okay, just to show you, all these are automated basically. Like this one is automated because I don't have time to go and post. Okay, so back to your question, do you need to show your face? Don't need. You just need to make something like you make your AI friend like Ira. So Ira is not real. She's 100% code. Not code, but 100% digital. She doesn't exist in real life. I created her. I used Higgsfield to create her. And then I wrote my own program with Cohort to automate the whole thing. So you see all these are like carousels, by the way. Yeah. So these are carousels, and then it's entirely automated lah. So basically they just post by itself. Okay, so why I stopped the carousel, right, is because TikTok started to send her paper, toilet paper, bed bug thing and things like that. So anyway, like my point, she's making money and she is selling products. Yeah. So my point is also you need to put in effort in it because mine is super low effort.
I think going back, there is a question from Akira about security. So does Claude has built-in security, firewall, data protection to protect personal sensitive data information that was input into it? If not, what can we do to protect that data and information?
Okay, for Akira, right? Thanks for your question. Answer is yes. Okay, but a lot of people don't know this thing that recently I was very horrified about. So there's this Claude Pro plan and Claude Teams plan. So Claude Pro plan for personal subscription, right? By default, all your data is fed to Claude to for training data. Okay, I repeat in case people don't get it. If you're on Claude Pro plan and you happen to be working with a company right now, as long as you're on Claude Pro, by default, your data is fed to as learning data for the machine to get better. So the answer is yes, it does have the security and the data protection, but on the Pro plan, because a lot of people don't know, by default, all your data entered to Claude is fed to the machine. So how do you circumvent that, right? Is that if you want higher security, you have to be on Claude Teams plan, which requires 5 people minimum. Enterprise plan, I think, is 30 people minimum, but then Team plan is 5 people. And it is only on the Claude Team plan that they opt you out of the machine learning training. So my suggestion is that if you have super sensitive B2B data or very sensitive data like your health and finances, you need to talk to Claude. There are ways to switch off the, like tell Claude, no, I don't agree for my data to be used for training purposes. You have to be very explicit with Claude and ask it to confirm with you that it does not. And most people do not do that because they don't even know that when you're on pro or free plan, all your data is used to feed the AI.
I guess that it's as with any technology that we are using these days also, right?
Yes, but so just go on Team plan.
I think another side to the question is that because for Claude, right, sometimes when you prompt it, right, then it keeps popping up things like, can I have access to this? Can I have access to that? Maybe you want to elaborate more about the Claude co-work part of it.
Yeah.
And that's why we recommend beginners.
Yeah, so the worst thing about non-technical professionals, right, and practitioners like myself, because I started it ma. So I was with Jess and her colleague at the horrible code hackathon. It was so scary for both teams because I decided to code by myself. Because it was like a 5 hours hackathon. So my assumption is 5 hours, if I talk to teammates, right, the communication cost, right, will probably be higher than if I do myself. So I decided to be my own team. It was my first time finishing a build with code, and it was so scary because how do we do, right, is code whenever you execute something, right, or ask the AI to do something for you, there will be a permission thing that pops up. Then you don't know what you're going to because don't understand. It's English, but don't understand what's going on. Because they use jargon, then like NPX, something, something, something. Then they say, do you approve? Okay, so if you don't want to approve, right, because you don't know what is NPX, right, then you cannot finish the hackathon. So I'm like, very scary. So I keep approving things that I don't know what is going on. So that's called code. The best news is that for Claude Cohort, you do not have to do that because Claude Cohort, everything that you need to approve, you understand what is it. You can understand that, okay, they will ask you, do you give permission to your Google Drive? This one you can understand in natural language, but Claude Code, no. You really don't know what's going on. So you need to learn. So the reason why we want to start with a Claude Cohort, right, is because the security guardrails is higher, and at least you know what you're approving to in natural language without the jargon.
In a way, I think that security prompting is also training your muscles to also, as in ensuring that there's also that vigilance when you give it access, right? You also understand like what are you giving access to. But to Wan Wei's earlier point about feeding your data to Anthropic, to Claude, right? That is with all technology these days. That said, right, for those who have decided to sign up for our bootcamp, please make sure that you're not using your company laptop. Please use your personal laptop unless I think if you're using your company laptop, I think there's a certain your IT team might reach out to you on Monday. Please come with your personal laptop lah. Okay, I'm mindful that we actually overran. Now it's already 9:12, and there's still people here. So we're just curious, like, are there any more questions that you would like to ask away? Going once, going twice. Okay, I think that's we had a very long evening. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you for staying so long, and hopefully like this helps to demystify certain concepts and some questions you had on the AI agents. If you'd like to reach out, you can email us at hello@thecouragechapter.com, or you can find us on LinkedIn as well. And thank you, Lynn, and also Damien, for spending time with us, sharing your experience on the AI Native Circle. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.